link that I sent you because that one stopped working. So tonight I've planned a session. You know, I always like to have a theme. So my session tonight is all about releasing the stress. Hello, sis. My sister's just joined. All the way from America. Yay! Oh, excellent. You put me off completely. So yeah, we're going to do some tense and release for the shoulders, neck and head. We're going to do lots of different moves. So for those who haven't done yoga with me before, make sure you've got a drink of water. Make sure you've maybe got some pillows, and you might need a towel just to cover your eyes over at the end of the class. Just brilliant. Looking forward to doing this. So I'll talk you through where I can. If you've got any issues, maybe let me know and I'll see if I can adjust anything for you. Because I can't see you all, I can't necessarily adjust you in position, but I'm quite good at talking you through things. So listen to my cues, listen to what I'm saying. You've also got to be mindful that I can't see you, and therefore you've got to be careful of your environment. So you know your body, so you know if you've got a tight shoulder, just go within range of motion of your body. Some of the postures that we'll be doing will be quite tough on the body, but again, just move through them how you can. So we're going to do some work on wrists as well, arms. We've got some good stretches for the arms, and we're going to do Shavasana, and Shavasana at the end of the class will be to do with a sunset on the beach, so hopefully we'll get you nice and relaxed towards the end. I hope everybody's not going mad with all the isolation that we're having to do, and they're getting lots of exercise and trying to make everybody laugh. So one thing to think about is one good thing that's happened to you today, apart from me being chucked out of my video for being copyrighted. So I've been for a lovely walk today. We've walked around and only saw 2 people, so that was cool. Didn't have to avoid anybody. And it's just been a lovely day, although we've had a bit of rain here. So we are going to start, and I'd like you to be on your knees. I'm just adjusting my camera slightly. So if you can bring yourself onto your knees, we're just going to start gently by sitting down on our heels. Now, some people can't sit like that, and if you feel it's uncomfortable, you can put a cushion underneath your bottom, or if you've got a yoga block, you can put the block underneath your bottom as well. So just get yourself into a nice, comfortable position. Sorry, Joelle, I've just noticed that you're there. You and Dave there as well. Thank you. Thank you for sharing on Facebook earlier as well. So sitting on your knees, we're just going to do some shoulder shrugs. So take my glasses off so they don't fall off. We're going to roll the shoulders back and down. So just make sure you're breathing. Inhaling as your shoulders come up. Exhale as they come down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Let's go back the other way. So inhale up. Bring them forward. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale down. Lovely. So we're going to start off our first posture coming into child's pose. So stay where you are. I'm just turning sideways so you can see. With child's pose, you want to try and keep your bottom close to your heels. And you're just going to walk your hands forward so that you're bringing your chest and your head down to the floor. So as you exhale, just lengthen your body down towards the floor. So bring yourself into that position. Get yourself comfy. Think about trying to take your chest down to the floor. So if you don't like having your knees close together and you can't get your chest through, you might need to widen your knees and bring your chest through between your knees. So just think about that in your position and lengthen out. Lengthen your hands away from you so you're really stretching, trying to pull the floor away from you so you're lengthening your spine. Just stay there for a couple more breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. Lovely. Right, so on your next inhale, I want you to come back onto a kneeling position. So bring yourself on up. to sit up nice and tall. And we're going to give ourselves a little hug. I know it's not possible to give all the people that you want to give hugs at the moment. So we're just going to inhale, lift our arms and wrap our hands round, grabbing for our shoulders. Make sure you keep your shoulders down. You don't want your shoulders up by your ears. Just bring your shoulders down. And just try and sort of pull the shoulder blades apart from each other. So your hands are on your shoulders and you're just pulling forward. So make sure you're breathing. And if this feels uncomfortable on your knees, you can always come up into an upright position. I just cut my head off. Sorry about that. Might be a good thing though. Don't all laugh. And as you exhale, you're just going to release your hands down. So we're going to continue that stretch through the shoulders. So if you know eagle pose, you're going to take your arms out nice and wide and you're going to cross your left hand underneath your right hand. So you meet at the elbows, so you're in that kind of position. And if you can, you want to bring the palms up towards each other and you're just trying to bring the hands closer together. So that should create a stretch through your shoulders. If you are good at eagle pose, you might be able to grab your palms, so your palms are entwined. So if I come forward, you can see that my fingers are wrapped around. Those are one. Okay, lovely. So just think about this. And I want you to think about circling the arms, just a small circle. So you're twisting around. And then we're going to go the other way, so circle back in the other direction. And then we're just going to release the hands. We're going to swap to the other side. So this time you want to put your right arm underneath your left arm and inhale, lift the arms up, see whether you can grab for the hands. I know people, if you've got wide shoulders, this one's really difficult. But it doesn't matter if you can't get the palms together. Just having them like this gives you the stretch that you need in the back of the shoulders. Don't forget, everybody's body shapes and composition are different. We can all do different things. I've found an interesting one I can't do later on, so we'll have a little laugh at that one. So just bring the hands together if you can and do some circles, a couple of times one way. Just make sure you're breathing nice and gently. And then take it back the other way. And release your arms down. We're going to do eagle arms again, but we're going to do a stretch for the back as well. So going back to the first eagle arms, take your arms out and cross your left arm underneath your right arm, bring your hands up. So now, because we've got the arms intertwined, we're going to come up onto the knees. So what you need to think about is engaging your core muscles, squeeze your tummy towards your spine, and then inhale, coming up to an upright position. So now you're in this position. I want you to lift your elbows up a little bit higher. So you're pushing the elbows up and the hands up towards the sky, really stretching your shoulders out. And then as you exhale, bring them back down again. And then I want you to think about turning your body forwards. So you're going to lean forwards, keeping the arms in position, just slowly curving the back, bringing your head down towards the floor. Feel your shoulder blades separating and feel that stretch coming into your back. Just be careful. Just know what your limitations are. And then we're going to inhale, bring it back up to the centre. And as you exhale, release your arms round. And we're going to do the other side. So inhale your arms up. This time you're crossing your right arm under your left arm, bringing the hands up. Whenever you're ready, depending on where your hands need to be, you're going to inhale, lift your elbows away from your chest. Just breathing nice and deeply. Just keep breathing. Feel that stretch come through your shoulders. And then on your next exhale, slowly bring your arms back down. And again, you're going to lean forward. So as you exhale, just turn the body forward, squeeze your tummy muscles in, just looking down towards the floor, gently arching your back. Really keep those tummy muscles engaged. Just breathe. Feel that stretch coming through your shoulders. And on your next inhale, bring yourself up and release your arms and come forward. That's quite a tough one. It's a good stretch on the shoulders. So as I said at the beginning, we're trying to release the tension all the way through the shoulders and the neck. So this is a good one to do. We're going to inhale, lift the shoulders up. And as you exhale, nobody can hear you. You can make a big, deep inhale up and exhale down. One more time. Inhale up and exhale down. Lovely. You all deserve a child's pose now. So bring yourself so that your knees are nice and wide towards the outside of your mat. Sit back on your heels. And then as you exhale, just walk your hands forwards, coming so that your hands come down and your head and your chest come down towards the floor. So instead of thinking about getting your head to the floor, think about trying to get your chest to the floor. Some of us are luckier than others. We haven't got to go quite so far. So just push your chest down to the floor. Keep your neck in line with your spine and be aware of how that changes the stretch. So this is really opening up my chest. My head isn't down to the floor, but I'm trying to get my chest as close as I can, and I can feel my back stretching as I'm doing it. So just take a few breaths and try to allow your body to soften into the posture. And maybe even just relax your head to the floor. So while you're in that position, I want you to think about your neck. And while you've got your head to the floor, I want you to think about rolling your head, so your forehead's on the floor, and you're just turning your head from one side to the other. So you're looking underneath towards your armpit, one side. You're inhaling back to the centre and exhaling over to the other side. You're kind of giving your head a little massage on the floor. Bring it back to the centre and one more time to the other side. Slowly bring your head back to the centre. Bring your hands back towards your knees and just push your hands into the floor and inhale. Bring yourself up. Lovely. Hopefully you're getting a little bit of a stretch through the neck. So we're just going to do a couple more positions on our knees. Again, if you're feeling uncomfortable, you can always turn around and sit like this. But if you can, stay on your knees. I'm just showing you if you're not. So we're just going to do some work on our neck. We're just going to turn from side to side, like we just did on the floor with the head rolling on the floor. We're just going to kind of do the same. So you're just turning the head to one side. You're inhaling the head back to the centre. Exhaling over to the other side. Inhaling back. Exhaling over. Inhale back. And exhale over. So we're just going to do some movement where we're going to bring the hands into play. So sit nice and tall. Push your sit bones into the floor and really lengthen through the spine. You're going to inhale. Take your left arm up to the sky and just gently rest your hand on your head. And I want you to just turn your head over to the side slightly so you've got an angle through the neck. And the hand isn't pulling, you're just resting it. So you're just getting a little bit more of a stretch coming through here. And just rest your hand onto your knee. Just breathing nice and gently. And we're going to inhale, bring the head back and release the hand. Let's move over to the other side. Inhale the hand up, rest the hand gently on the head and allow the neck to come over to the side. Make sure you breathe. Really feel like you're pulling all of your chest up and down. Really trying to get as much air in as you can. The more air you feel coming in, the more relaxed you can be. And then slowly inhale, bring the hand up and release the hands. So when you sit in yoga, a lot of people sit with their hands upright and the thumb and forefinger together. This is called Chin Mudra, this posture. And by having your hands and your fingers pointing upwards, it's supposed to be an energizing position. Whereas today I want it to be more relaxing. So actually to turn the hands so the fingers point downwards is a relaxing posture, a calming posture, rather than energizing. There's a theory that the energy flows through your body, and depending on your positioning, like if you put your hands into Anjali Mudra or into your heart center, the fact that your fingers are touching each other means that the energy is going to flow back through your body. So just sit nice and tall. Okay, so we're just going to do some cat and cow. So if you bring yourself back onto your knees, or you may already be on your knees, and bring yourself over so you're into tabletop. So you need your hands nicely underneath your shoulders, your hips and your knees nicely in line, and your feet resting flat on the floor. We're going to come into cow first. So as you exhale, you want to arch your back down towards the floor and gently bring your head up last. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone under, bringing your head down towards the floor. Really push your arms into the floor, push your knees into the floor to kind of lengthen through your spine. And do that again. Inhale, coming in to cow, arching the back, head coming up. Make sure your shoulders are nice and strong. You don't want your shoulders up by your ears. And then as you exhale, come back in to cat. We do that one more time. Inhaling down into cow. And exhaling, coming in to cat. Really push your hands in. Push your feet into the floor, your knees into the floor. Get some strength through your tummy muscles. And then exhale, bring yourself back to a neutral spine. Lovely. So from there, we're going to come up into thread the needle. So again, one more position on our knees. So still staying in that position, I just want to show you a different position here. So we're going to do thread the needle. So with thread the needle, you want to take your left hand and guide it underneath behind your right wrist. And so now you're going to twist down towards the floor. Your hand runs along the floor and you slowly take your head down. So you're resting your side of your head on the floor. So this is a nice gentle stretch for the shoulders. You've got a rotation going through the spine. And if you feel strong, you might want to lift your right hand and place it onto your bottom. You're almost wanting to reach round and try and grab for your right thigh. So I don't know whether I can show you that, but my hand is round the side and I'm reaching for my thigh. So if I'm in that position, I'm more likely to be able to reach the thigh. Again, it all depends on the flexibility through your shoulders and your rotation in your spine to whether this is possible or not. So on your exhale, release your hand from your back, bring it back down to the floor into its original position, and then inhale, lift yourself back up into tabletop. And we're going to do the other side. So as you exhale, take your right hand behind your left elbow, left wrist, and slowly allow those fingers to roll across the floor. So you're bringing your shoulder down. Rest your head on the floor to help give you some balance. And then as you exhale, take your top hand over the back, reaching for the back of your thigh. Really feel that stretch coming into your shoulders. Breathing nice and deeply. Don't forget, you can come out of the posture anytime. You know your body's abilities, and I might just try and push you a little bit longer. So as you exhale, release your top hand, bring it back to the floor, coming into that tabletop position, and then inhale, bring your hand back into line. And then from here, we're going to come to standing. So just bring yourself up to a standing position. If you want to, just take a sip of water. As I do lots of talking, I have to keep drinking, otherwise people think I've got a strange cough. You know, never know what that might be thought of. So I did say we were going to do some work on our shoulders and releasing the tension. So what I want you to do is bring your arms out to the sides, bring them up so that your shoulders are in line and your arms are in line. So your palms should be flat to the floor. And I want you to think about taking your thumbs down towards the floor. So turning your thumbs, if I come closer, you're just turning your thumbs down towards the floor. And what we're doing here is we want the whole arm to move. So my shoulder is pulling forward. See here, watch here. My shoulder is pulling forward and I've twisted from my shoulder. So you want that position. So your thumbs are going down. And then we're going to bring the arms up. I'm just going to adjust, you can't see my head, sorry. So what I'd like you to think about doing now is I'm going to turn round and we're going to do the same move, but I want you to do something different. So shoulders rolling down, thumbs coming down to the floor, and then I want you to bring your hands behind your back and grab for your elbows. Lovely. So you're in that position and this is forcing your shoulders to internally rotate. So you really want to think about pulling your shoulders and your elbows down your back to try and open those shoulders up a little bit more. So just breathe nice and deeply. Just feel your chest opening and just check your shoulders out. Make sure your shoulders are in line with each other and you feel that they're both doing the same thing. And as you exhale, just release your palms, thumbs facing down, arms coming back up again, and then release your arms. So we're trying to warm the shoulders up and the arms up because we're going to try to end with one of my big postures. It's not a massive posture today, but it is something that people do struggle with. So I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but we're just going to work our way towards it. So we're going to do the same again. I'm sorry, I'm turning my back on you. So arms out to the side, turn your palms down, and as you exhale, bring your hands behind you and put your fingertips together. So fingers are together, and again, your shoulders are being pushed into internal rotation. They're pulling forward. So we're trying to stretch all the muscles through the back of the shoulder and try and bring some strength into them. So really push your fingertips together. My elbows are still bent. It's the position that they come into. But you're really pushing your fingers, and I'm stretching my fingers out nice and wide. They're not flattened together. They're out really nice and wide. Yeah? Excellent. And then we're going to let go. So we're doing a lot of work to stretch out the shoulders, open the shoulders. So we're going to do that same position again. So inhale, bring your arms up, thumbs facing downwards. And you're going to bring the hands behind your back. Bring your thumbs together. And now I want you to intertwine your fingers together as well. So again, my shoulders are coming into internal rotation. And we're going to do a forward bend. So you're keeping your hands on your bottom. Open your chest, open your shoulders. And as you exhale, tuck your chin towards your chest. Slowly bring yourself down into a forward bend. And when you feel like you've got to where's comfortable for you, it doesn't have to be a strong stretch. Again, if your hamstrings are tight, don't forget you can always bend the hamstrings. We know there's a lot of tight hamstrings out in the world. When you're ready and your head is nice and relaxed, you're looking down towards your feet. Think about lifting your hands off your back, opening your shoulders. You might find that your shoulders feel really tight. You might find your elbows are pulling or somewhere in your shoulder is pulling. If it is, take it back a notch. Don't overdo the stretch. But just do it to where it comes for you. And you might find that as you stay here with your neck relaxed, that your body might allow your arms to come over a little bit more. And a little bit more. Lovely. So
The easiest way to come out of this position is bring your hands back down to your bottom. Release your hands to the floor and then slowly inhale. Bring yourself up into a standing position. Just give your shoulders a nice little roll. A couple of times one way and a couple of times the other, because we are working them and they should be starting to warm up. So there's a posture in yoga called cow face pose. We're just going to do the arm version of cow face pose. Most people who do gym work might know this one. So we're going to stand with our hands down by our sides, shoulders back and down, coming into a nice strong mountain pose. We're going to inhale, take the right arm up to the sky, but before you do so, I want you to turn the palm upwards so your thumb is facing out towards the room. So now that's pulling my shoulder into external rotation because I've moved all the way from my hand all the way up to my shoulder. And I'm going to inhale, lift the arm up to the sky, bend the elbow, and take your palm behind your head. So just touching the back of your shoulders and underneath your neck, breathe your hand. You can inhale, bring the other arm over the top and bring your shoulder in by your side. Good one for swimmers. Swimmers like this one. It's good for opening their shoulders up. And you want to think about what's happening here. So I tend to feel that my ribs stick up. So you want to think about pushing your ribs down towards your spine to see what movement happens there. My back's quite arched. As I push my ribs down, my back straightens up a little bit. So just be mindful of that. And if you feel like you can, you want to bring the other hand up, grab for the fingers. Now that is quite a tough move to do. So if you have a strapped hand, you can put the strap in the hand that's going upwards and use the strap to slowly bring your hands together. So just keep doing that stretch for me just for a little bit longer on that one side. And then exhale, release the hands and bring them down. So if you need the strap, transfer the strap or the tie that you've brought and put that into your other hand. So it's now into your right hand. You're going to turn your right hand upwards. So your thumb is facing upwards and inhale, bring the hand up towards the sky. As you exhale, bend the elbow, bring that down to your side. Then inhale, lift the other arm up, grab for the elbow. Just try and improve the range of movement through the body. Again, remember the ribs. There's lots of things we all do differently. So I noticed on me, my ribs were sticking up. If you can't get the arm there, it means there may be some kind of tightness in the chest. So instead of bringing it up to the side, you might want to bring it round so it's out to the side. But again, don't push on the neck. You want hand low and try and open the shoulder up. So it's just what works for you and your range of motion. And then as you exhale, lower your hands down to the floor. And again, just give yourself a big shrug and let go. Inhale, shrug up and let go. So I said earlier that there was a position that I've learned today that was quite uncomfortable for me. And here it comes. So I want you to bring both arms out in front of you. And I want you to turn your palms so your palms face outwards. And then you're going to cross the top your right hand over the top of your left hand so your palms are now together and your thumbs are facing downwards. So this is nice and straightforward, but already look at my shoulders. Bring your shoulders down so your shoulders are in line with each other and just intertwine your fingers so you're gripping onto each other. You're going to bring those hands, I'm sure this is something you probably did as a kid. Bring your hands through so your palms are now upright. And you want to see whether you can bring your arms forwards. And this is where I get stuck. I can't bring my arms forward. I've got such a tight range of motion through my shoulder, it's not letting me do it. So you may be easier and luckier. You might find that your arms can come through. So just be mindful that if you can't do it, don't push it. And I did find that as I stood here, my body would slowly allow my arms to relax a little bit more. So just do it to where it's comfortable for you. Don't force it. Don't force it. And then just release the tension, release the hands. So we need to do that on the other side. So palms out, turn the palms so your thumb's facing downwards
And this time the left arm goes over the top of the right arm, and you're going to intertwine your fingers. So breathing nice and deeply. Remember your shoulders. Bring your shoulders down. You don't want them up by your ears. Bring them down. We're going to inhale. Bring the hands through. Twist them round and bring them through. So you should be able to bring them a little bit more than that 90-degree angle that I've got. But again, I'm completely stuck. I can't move any way forward. Just to show you that I'm human after all, not super bendy, like a lot of yoga teachers are. So just then release the hands, bring them back through, release the fingers, and just stretch your fingers out. So that one was quite a hard one for your forearms. Favourite one of mine for stretching the forearms is to bring your hands into your heart centre. So you're in prayer and you want to push the bottom of your arm, your hand, through and down. So you're pushing it through. So you should be getting some kind of stretch coming into the underneath of the forearms. Pushing the hands together. You don't want the palms to lift apart. You want to try and keep your palms together. And once you get to that range where they feel like they're lifting, that's when you stop. Lovely. And then just release them again. Another one you can do is put your palms upside down. So your outside of your palms are together. And again, you're going to bring the hands up through. So as soon as they start separating, then the movement's wrong. Just keep them where they get to just about separate and bring them up. We're just going to do a few more stretches on our wrists. So just bring yourself down onto your knees and come into tabletop. Oh, camera can't see what I'm doing. My room's not big enough, sorry. I've put in a request for a bigger room. It's not gone out very well there. So put your hands down onto the floor in tabletop. And I'm just going to come forward to show you. So I want you to turn your wrists out to the sides and just gently rock from side to side, stretching out your wrists. And then think about doing some circles, so circling round. Again, do it gently. Don't overstretch it. Bring them round. Come back to the centre. Come the other way round. One more time. And bring it back to centre. So one more thing we're going to do for the wrists. I want you to think about turning your palms backwards, so your fingertips are pushing towards your knees. You might want to take the hands closer to your knees to make it a little bit easier. I'm just turning around to show you. So my hands are facing backwards. And you're just going to add a little bit of weight to the arms, stretch the arms out. Again, just do what your body lets you do. Stretching out the front of the arms. Just gently rocking backwards and forwards. And we're going to bring ourselves out of that position. So just gently release your hands. Give them a nice little shake. And then we're going to come into the posture that we've been working towards. So we've been stretching our shoulders, stretching our arms out. And I'm going to turn away from you. So I can't see what you're doing. Well, I can't anyway. So what I want you to do is stand, and we put our arms out to the side. You need to make sure you do both arms together. So as you exhale, turn your thumbs down and bring your hands together. So your thumbs come together behind your back, and then your fingers come together behind your back. So I don't know whether you can see, if I put my hands and my palms together, that I'm actually in an upside down prayer hands. So my shoulders are internally rotating forward, and I've got a little bit of room to play by bringing my hands out. So what I want you to think about doing is turning your palms upwards. See whether you can come into reverse Namaste or reverse Anjali Mudra. So when I do this posture, I know that my back of my fingers, my little fingers, are all together, but when I try and get my the front fingers together. It's a bit tight and I've not got a range of movement to do it. So I can feel that in my shoulders. So I just need to think about opening my shoulders round to get that to happen. So well done if you've managed to do Anjali Mudra or reverse Namaste. We're going to see whether you can hold it there for a little while. I can really feel this pulling through my forearms, and that probably because that position I did earlier where I couldn't get my arms through. And then slowly just release your arms down, turn your fingers backwards and give your arms a nice little shake. So forward Namaste, well done for trying, excellent. You know me, I do like to try and challenge you, get you into positions that you might find a little bit fearful. So fear is a big factor in everybody's lives. There's a lot of things that we will do or not do because of the fear factor. And actually, it's fear of the unknown that you're scared of. And you actually sometimes need to push yourself through that fear of the unknown. So if you did push, well done. So we are going to do some more shoulder opening to try and relieve a little bit more tension from our bodies. So I'm just going to adjust my mat, get my camera again. Sorry about this. So what I want you to do is take your feet out to the edge of your mat. If you haven't got a mat and you're just using carpet, then it's about 2 foot. Feet nice and in line. And what I want you to do is I want you to bend your right knee. So put your weight slightly onto your right knee and you're bending that knee. And we're going to come into a forward bend. So keeping that right knee bent, we're going to inhale, lift the arms up to the sky, look up towards your hands. And as you exhale, you're going to come into a forward bend. So keep bringing your hands down to the floor, keep this knee bent and bring yourself down. If you can't reach the floor, then just put your hands onto your knees. Just gently bring that down. If you can't reach the floor, then you maybe want to have a block or a couple of pillows that you can just lean your hand onto, or a book. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the left hand to the floor. So take your left hand into the centre of the floor between your hands, and then, sorry, your right hand, so you've got your right knee bent and your right hand out. And then you're going to inhale, take your left arm up towards the sky. So you're looking up towards your hand, opening your shoulders, trying to get your arms so that they're in a nice line from one shoulder to the other. Just make sure you're breathing, looking up towards your top hand, keep that right knee bent. And now we're going to see whether we can take the top hand and rest it onto the bottom and see whether we can grab round. I'm just turning sideways to show you. So I'm trying to grab from my thigh on the other side. So you're still looking round, and by opening my shoulder at the top, I can actually grab more of my leg, and I can use the leg to help open my shoulder. If you're overlocking out your right knee or your left knee, you might want to just bend that slightly. I can feel tension coming into a lock on my knee. And then we're going to bring the head round, release the hand, and bring the hand down to the floor. And then you're going to inhale, slowly bring yourself up to a standing position. So we're going to do the other side. So feet out nice and wide again. You're going to exhale, bend your left knee this time. And as you inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Look up to your hands. And as you exhale, slowly take your hands down to the floor. Relax your neck. Make sure both knees are soft, not locked out. So this time you're taking your left hand to the floor. So the same knee that's bent is the same hand. You're going to inhale and take your other arm up to the sky. So you're looking to try and get those arms in line. This is my tight shoulder. So this is the arm I can't get straight towards the sky, but it's not doing too bad. It doesn't feel the same. Just look up towards the hand, and then you're going to think about taking this hand on the top down to your bottom. So you need to turn the palm away from you. So where your palm's facing towards the right, you want to turn the palm to the left and then allow the hand to come down to the bottom
and that will allow you to come closer to the leg if your body allows. Make sure you're looking up towards your shoulder still, grabbing for that thigh, and then slowly just release your hand from the top of your back, bring it down to the floor. And then we're going to inhale, bring ourselves back up towards the sky. Lovely, just give those shoulders a nice little roll. We're giving the shoulders a really good workout. We're trying to release any tension or stress in the top of the shoulders. So we're just going to do a little flow, not too big a flow. So bring yourself towards the front of your mat. Sorry, I'm chopping my head off, but we're going to go into crescent lunge. So stand up nice and tall, coming into mountain pose, shoulders back and down, squeeze those bottoms. We're going to inhale, and as you exhale, step back with your right leg into crescent lunge. So your foot should be facing forwards rather than the normal posture of out to the side, and your heel is off the floor. So front knee nice and bent, and this is crescent lunge. If you want to, you can bring your hands up towards the sky. But if you want to progress, bring your hands down to your side. We're going to take the right hand and wrap it around the back. So this is another one of those movements. It's kind of like a bind. So you can take your hand and try and rest it onto your thigh. So you need the shoulder to be quite open to allow that hand to come round from the back. If you want to, you can take this arm up to the sky, or you can just use it to hold onto the hand to keep the hand in position. And then we're going to release that hand. Bring the hands down to the floor as you exhale. Step your right foot back, so your left foot back into plank and come into downward dog. So you're pushing your bottom up towards the sky, your feet are shoulder width apart, really aiming that bottom for the sky. Relax your neck down. Just breathe nice and gently. And then on your next inhale, you're going to step your right foot forward towards your hands. So coming back into that crescent lunge position, but on the other side. So lift your body off the floor. And if you want, inhale, lift your hands up to the sky. Just gently feel that stretch coming through the back of the thigh that's at the back, your left thigh. Make sure the knee's nice and bent. And then exhale, release the hands down to the floor. We're going to take the left hand. We're going to bring that hand around the back. Again, we're trying to grab for the leg on the side. Use this hand either up in the air or just to pull the hand around a little bit more. Just trying to aim that shoulder around to the back. Opening those shoulders, and then we're going to bring the hand round. Bring the hand down to the floor. You're going to step forward with your left leg, coming into a forward bend. Allow your head to relax, knees to relax and soften if you feel your hamstrings are too tight. And I'm going to take the hands up towards the sky. So inhale, bring the hands back up to the sky. Bring your hands together into prayer, and then bring them down to Anjali Mudra, your heart center. And release. Lovely. We're going to do 2 more seated positions. So we're going to come down to the floor. Just going to adjust my camera a little bit. So bring yourself down onto your bottom. And again, there's a lot of work we're going to try and do through the shoulders. So we're going to start off with a position called Janu Asana. You're going to take your left leg and bring your left leg up. You want to take this leg out to the side, and you want to bring your shoulder, so this is my left shoulder, I want to bring the shoulder in, so my shoulder and my elbow are in line, or if you're really flexible, in front of your shoulder. So take this hand, turn the palm downwards, and then you're looking to bring that hand around the back. So leaning right forward and my hand
is reaching from my bottom. Other leg is nice and straight out in front of me, my foot flexed. I'm going to take this hand round the back to see whether we can grab. So this is called a bind, and you're binding the body from one side to the other. And as I said earlier, there's a strong belief in yoga that if you intertwine your hands together, you keep the energy within the body. Make sure you sit up nice and tall, lengthen that back, you don't want to be too curved. And I'm going to release the arms, so bring the arms down. And instead of going on to the other leg straight away, we're going to do Marityasana. So take the leg out to the side. You're almost doing butterfly pose with this leg. So the foot is near the knee and you want the leg nice and straight. So we're going to inhale, take the arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, bring your hands forwards. Just allow yourself to breathe into the posture and feel that you're relaxing. Breathing gently. So if you want to, just stay here, but you can, of course, come with me. There's always a stronger part to the posture. So if you want, you can take your hands behind your back and intertwine your fingers. Lengthen your arms away from you, open your shoulders, and see whether you can lift your hands off your back. It's an easier posture to do, your hands on the floor. But if you want to make it harder, open the shoulders, lift the hands off the back. Stronger for the arms, the shoulders, and the core, which is trying to keep you up. So on your next inhale, bring yourself back up towards the sky and take a few breaths. We're going to swap over and do the other leg. These are the last two postures we're going to do. So bring your right leg up, bend the leg and take the leg away from the midline. You're going to bring your right shoulder inside and lean forward so your your shoulder and your knee are in line with each other. Take your palm, turn your palm upside down and then wrap the arm around your back. A lot of people struggle with this because the shoulder is too tight. So just do what your body is allowing you to. And if this is all you can manage, just stay here. But as always, there's progression. So you can take the other arm behind your back, grabbing for the side. It's a very strong posture. You can feel the arms stretching. It's hard to hold and keep your body in place. But just do what you can. Make sure you're breathing nice and gently. And then slowly think about releasing your fingers, releasing your arms, and inhale, bring yourself upright. Bring your foot closer to your knee and allow the knee to turn out to the side into Marityasana. So allow this leg to come out. Sit nice and tall, lengthen your other leg away. Inhale, take your arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, bring your hands over towards the floor. They might be by your knees or your shins, or you might even be able to reach your feet. Just do what works for you. Oh, look, I've got clean feet, that's good. It's the silly things that go through my mind. Just allow yourself to relax. Nice and gently does it. If you want to, you can take your hands to your bottom, intertwine the fingers, lengthen your arms away from you, get your shoulders back and down, and open your hands away from your back, opening your shoulders whilst you're still in this forward bend position. Just breathe nice and gently. Feel the strength that your body needs to hold this position. And as you exhale, lower your hands down to your bottom, release your hands, bring them forward,
And as you inhale, lean up, coming up to seated. Bring the knee back to the centre. Bring your other knee to join it and give your knees a nice big hug. So the purpose of today's class was to increase the range through your shoulders, trying to release any tension you might have in your neck, but also to strengthen your shoulders to make you stronger so your posture is better. So it's that time of day. We're coming to Shavasana. I think this is everybody's favourite after a class with me. So just bring yourself down onto the floor. Now, if you're in the lounge, this is a bit of a cheat for you. If you're in the lounge and you've got a sofa, what you could do is put your legs up on the sofa so your knees are upright. This is really good for the blood flow and lymph flow in your legs. It's really nice and relaxing. So if you get swollen ankles, it's really good. You can do that. Some people actually like to sit upright and do Shavasana upright sitting. It's up to you. And if you want to get your towel, or if you've got a lavender bag, I know Georgia's out there, I know she's got a lavender bag. So you either want a towel that you can put over your eyes. It blocks out the brightness of the light. And just lay down, put your lavender bag or your towels onto your eyes to block out the light. So when you're there, think about your posture as you lay on the floor. I want you to think about your shoulders. Make sure your shoulders are nicely relaxed into the floor. A lot of people lay in Shavasana with their hands right by the side. You don't need to. You can allow the arms to come out to the side, and that allows the shoulders to flatten into the floor more. It's much more relaxing. Think about your feet. Allow your feet to come out towards the edge of your mat. If you haven't got a mat, then it's about 2 foot. So you bring your feet out to the side and allow your feet to relax so that your legs relax all the way from the hip. So let's start by focusing on your breath. You might find that your breath is a little bit faster than normal and your heart's beating a little bit. We have had some strong movements in our yoga session today, so just get yourself nice and comfortable. Just breathe. And as I said earlier, we're going to take a trip onto a sunset beach. Welcome. I'm going to take you onto the beach at sunset in a far off place. Somewhere you would like to take time to relax. So get yourself comfortable. It is important that you feel comfortable. So if you need to, you can add cushions and a blanket to embrace the feeling of calm. Let's set the scene. The sun is low in the sky, and the sky is filled with a gorgeous yellow glow. The warmth of the sun is still strong and pleasant on your skin. There are clouds in the sky, which look like they have been dipped in gold. There is a gentle breeze blowing, and it adds a layer of coolness over your skin. You have come for a walk on the beach before you head home for the night. And you're coming just to watch the sun setting. It signifies the end of your day. So maybe just take a moment to consider how your day has gone. Let's think about one positive thing that has happened and acknowledge how it made you feel. So let's start our walk along the beach. Your feet are bare, and as you walk along, you feel the sand between your toes. And as you take each step, you leave a footprint in the sand behind you, like a memory being left on your mind. You walk down towards the shoreline, and as you reach the water's edge, you stop to admire the view. The sun is setting slowly, and it looks like it's about to dip its toe into the water. You follow suit and cautiously test the temperature on your toes. It's perfect. And you stride in further so that the water covers your toes and your feet. You stand still, feeling the warmth of the water and the sun on your skin. And you feel yourself relax. The beautiful view is calming, and you see the sun reflecting on the water. You decide to take a walk along the shoreline, your feet just outside the reach of the water, almost teasing it to touch your feet. So with the sun on your right and the beach on your left, you start to see how the world is impacted by the sun setting. The trees on the beach behind you are just a silhouette. The leaves and the trunk are darkening down. So you can't see any contours, but you can see the shape of the tree. You can see the sand raising into a dune where the trees are up above. As you look down the beach, as far as you can see, the water and the sand carry on forever. The view has an amazing impact on your inner calmness, and you feel the breath coming into your lungs. And the only thing you're thinking about is the amazing view that you see. This is your imagination, and you have built this view. So if you feel like adding anything into the view that I may have forgotten, please do what works for you. hope you've found an inner calmness, and that you can keep hold of this calmness for the rest of your day. Just turning your mind nice and quietly. Just inhaling and exhaling, feeling your chest, breathing in the pure air from the beach. We're going to look to bring you back into the room. So let's start off by wiggling your toes and wiggling your fingers. So if you've got a lavender bag or a towel over your eyes, let's remove it, but keep your eyes closed. So we're going to inhale, bring the right knee up to the chest, and as you exhale, bring your left knee up to your chest. If you're already seated, then just stay there. And if you've got your legs up on the sofa, you need to be mindful about what's around you. So just maybe think about opening your eyes, allowing the light to come in, and then bring yourself to an upright position. Now remember, if you've got low blood pressure, you need to roll to the left to come up, and high blood pressure, roll to the right. If your blood pressure is fine, then just bring yourself up into a cross-legged position. We're going to place the hands onto the knees, fingers facing downwards, thumb and forefinger intertwined. Just think about bringing your elbows into your side a little bit more to open your chest. And just breathe nice and gently. Reflect on your practice tonight, and I hope you're calm and feel suitably stretched and strengthened. So bring your hands into Anjali Mudra, your heart center. I give you praise and thank you for attending the class today. I'm sorry about my incident earlier. Om Shanti. Namaste.